NFL Combine coming up, and LSU got some big news yesterday, or at least got the news of the roster that would be taking place at the Combine, and LSU's sending a star-studded cast up to Indianapolis to take place in the 2023 Combine. That'll be at the end of February 28th through March 6th, and LSU is sending linebacker Micah Baskerville, defensive back Mekhi Garner, Ali Gay, B.J. Ojulari, Jaquelin Roy from the defensive line, Jay Ward from the defensive backfield, Kayshawn Boutte, Jeray Jenkins, and Anthony Bradford are all going to take part in the drills at the NFL Combine coming up before the draft in 2023. That will come up in April. B.J. Ojulari feels like he's going to be the first guy that comes off the board for LSU. Mm-hmm. Kayshawn could make a move here. I think Kayshawn is the one that stands to make the biggest jump. But when you look at some of the guys that are on the board and some of the guys that will have a chance to work out, I think Kayshawn has the chance to make the biggest jump. Obviously, he is someone that was projected as a first-round pick after his sophomore season. At spurts during his sophomore year, he might have been the best player in college football. I mean, he was on a tear his sophomore season when he was healthy. That was just, it was eye-opening to see how easy he was scoring when he would catch the football. And then when year three, coming off of 2 surgeries in the off season and going into a new offense, it took time to find his way, but still, I believe that last play that you see from Kayshawn that he makes as a junior is kind of the part where you're like, whoa, that's the intriguing part, where he catches a crossing route against the national champs very early in the SEC championship game versus Georgia, and he runs away from everybody. He makes one move, gets into the open, and sprints it to the end zone past the best defensive roster in college football. So I think that Kayshawn could probably work his way in to a first-round pick. Right now, they've got him slotted in a lot of mock drafts that I see as a late first, early second type guy. And I think that he could, with a good workout and a good pro day performance, depending on how he handles that day, I think it's a prospect. It's someone who could really make a move through this process. Mekhi Garner, Jaquelin Roy, Anthony Bradford are guys that are mentioned around that 3rd, 4th round pick selection. And I think that's about right for them. I think Gardner's probably a very intriguing prospect for the NFL just because of his size and his ability to jam at the line of scrimmage because of how long he is, and then he can run, he can move for how big he is. So he's almost a prototype of what the majority of NFL defenses are looking for. And then Jaquelin Roy at times during his junior year was projected as like a first-round pick. Going into the season, he was projected as a top 10 pick. So maybe he could be someone else to keep an eye on who could make a major jump. I would also throw Jay Ward into that mix. Now, Ward's a guy that's going to have to put on some weight. I think that the NFL will tell him that he's going to have to get stronger. But when you turn the film on, he plays a lot bigger than he is. I mean, he will come up and pop you, man.
Coach, I was watching the Senior Bowl highlights yesterday, and he was just like, I don't care about my body. I'm coming to knock somebody's head off.
Ward?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
He hit the running back from Northwestern, and that dude got up and he was like, I don't know where you played at. Looks like LSU.
John Emery in the spring game?
Yeah, and I don't want to be nowhere near that.
So, I mean, it was he's another one that I'm anxious to see at the Combine, who if he can make a real big move on, just improving his draft status. It will be interesting to see. I think there's a lot of guys here for LSU that have a chance to make a major move. I would also throw Jeray Jenkins in there. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, Jure may not be a guy that makes the move and makes the jump from, you know, somebody that's projected to be a late round selection into a first, you know, into a high round selection, but he's going to be a draft day steal, in my opinion, because you get a guy that can do a multiple amounts of things, right? I mean, he can cover kicks, cover punts, he can, you know, play special teams, and he can also be somebody that you can trust within the wide receiver rotation to play some big snaps for you. I mean, he's someone that towards the middle and end of the season and really all throughout the year was the most consistent pass catcher that I thought LSU had. I mean, he was the guy that, you know, he rarely dropped it. He was always in the right place. He always was kind of making a play at a key moment of the game. Just one of those guys, Russell Gage, you know, who's looked up and is now a multi-millionaire because he has found a niche and has just developed into a fantastic NFL option. And I think Jenkins is going to be somebody that could make a big splash as well. Maybe not on draft day, but when he gets to whatever team decides to draft him, I think it'll be very evident very early that they got a steal. And then some guys that their names were not on the list that it'll be interesting to see if they get chances here. I think the most notable would have been Joe Fuchsia, who was not invited to the combine. I would imagine with his size that he would have been someone that was appealing, just, you know, intriguing, attractive to take a look at. Mike Jones is someone who's going to have to wait for a pro day. Todd Harris, Colby Richardson out of the defensive backfield did not get invited there. Tremont Shorts from the offensive line.
Mike Jones might be the most interesting one on that list.
Yeah, because you know, Jones can do multiple things.
Yeah, and he was like a projected first-round pick before he came to LSU, which is kind of strange because he came to LSU and it was like they couldn't find a place for him on the field.
Yeah.
And when he was on the field, you didn't even know he was there.